let's say the Niners want to start Trey Lance week one. They could keep Jimmy and get him to take a pay cut, or they could trade him if some team needs him. Which team do you think needs him the most?
I think I think that you had the right state, but the wrong team. Um, in light of recent events, it seems like maybe this Dak injury, it's a little bit more than the Cowboys are willing to let on. He's went
Explain
through,
for people who aren't following Dallas like me.
so Dak supposedly that in practice he was just throwing light objects, not a football.
Oh,
Then
wow.
he was throwing a football, but very lightly. Then he's gone for a second MRI. Now, if things are going well on an injury, you don't go for a second MRI. They're saying it's just like a checkup, it's normal, but that's not really normal. And he's not chucking the ball at practice. So it seems like that there's something going on there. And supposedly reports are like, I haven't watched the Hard Knocks, but I guess Jerry Jones was on the phone in Hard Knocks talking to different trainers and stuff about Dak's injury, like the guy from the Yankees and another organization. So it seems like maybe there's more to this injury than the Cowboys are letting on. And if that's the case, the Cowboys are a team that they always want to win now. Like you've got a division that's not great. There's always pressure on that organization. People think Mike McCarthy's a goofball. I mean, there's pressure on him too. So to me, that's like the perfect storm. Like, because if and their organization is so reliant on Dak, like they need a quarterback. Like they need a quarterback.
That's a good call. Which team is going to get desperate? It doesn't seem like the Colts are there at all. It seems like, well, the owners have even come out and said, like, we're not going to trade for another quarterback. We're committed to Wentz for the long term. We want him to come back when he's healthy. All right, we'll see how many games you lose along the way. Dallas seems like they're desperate. And so what does this look like to you for Dak? Like, do you think he could miss the start of the season?
I
Half
don't
of the
know.
season?
It's hard to say because I don't know what's coming out. I mean, some of these injuries, like if he had a setback, it could be half a season or more. I mean, I believe it's his. Isn't it his labrum no? It's his leg, right? It's his.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be very serious, or it could just be a couple weeks. I think, but I don't. It's hard. It's hard to say, but if they don't have Dak, they're in big trouble. So to me, that would be a situation or something similar to that, where a team that's desperate to win now, and that type of owner that that just can't do a season where they're not
They're
in
not good. Yeah.
they're not in
And
it.
that's Jerry Jones.
Hmm.
Right.
That would be the ideal situation. Not only that, like if I was on the phone, I was John Lynch, and I was talking to them, like, listen, like your offensive line is great. Your division's not that great, So like, listen, Jimmy's played in the toughest division in football for all these years. He went to the Super Bowl. He can operate an offense. Mike McCarthy, you've been playing in the shadow of Aaron Rodgers and now Dak, and people question you. I mean, imagine if you won your division with Jimmy Garoppolo, and how people would be like, oh wow, you're a pretty good coach now. I mean,
It's true. That's good. That's a good sell job right there. Tobin says, who out there could Niners pick up with a Jimmy salary adjustment or trade? Names, positions, what are the possibilities? Well, it opens you up. It puts them in the market at the deadline for whoever is disgruntled, whoever wants out. J.C. Jackson, Stephon Gilmore. I mean, there are people that could potentially be available at the deadline the Niners can't get now, but could get then.
yeah, I think again the Niners are probably slow playing that too, because they want to see where they're at, and where other teams are at. Like I think the price for a guy like Gilmore could go down if as the Patriots move out of contention. The price for Gilmore could go down because uh, they don't need him, and he probably, although he's won a Super Bowl, so he's not one of those guys I think that's like itching to get on a contender. His issue is just he wants to get paid.
Yep. Okay, last topic of the day. This is something I was talking about with my dad. I had no insight, and I would like to ask you. You often see teammates fighting teammates in training camp, not the first day, but often the ninth or the 10th, because they're hitting each other constantly, and I guess it's just natural. My question is, when teammates go at it like that, once, twice, like Kevin Givens and Tomlinson did, and they have to be separated, and they probably say stuff to each other during the moment. Does it carry over in the locker room? How does it finally end? And what's that like? Is it awkward?
I think this has been like around football since its inception, and it's the nature of an aggressive, violent sport. These things are going to happen, and players tend to move on from it. It doesn't become personal, and sometimes in practice, like the personal stuff moves over into the physical, and then it kind of separates after you get off the field. Like, think about it. You've got 90 guys there, and in on other levels you've got 90 to 50 guys. Just by sheer numbers, you're going to have personality conflicts, and guys aren't going to like other guys, and
Right.
and so that, and then you combine into what's going on the field where you're physically going at it with people. There's just plenty of opportunities for it to go to another level, but that stuff tends to not linger, and guys get over it.
Do you see guys like go up to each other and talk to each other in the locker room, or just move on?
They just kind of move on. They know what the deal is. I mean, sometimes they'll talk.
You don't have to have a big emotional conversation about it. Like, hey man, I was out of line. I really respect you, man.
Nah, they just move.
Yeah.
Just move on. I mean, and even from a coaching perspective, I'm sure you might have seen it where coaches screaming at each other on the field, but like right after the game, you go and you're hanging out, and it's like that never happened.
That's true. That's true.
It's the nature of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen ones like it didn't happen this year, but back in the Harbaugh days, people would throw punches. I remember Anquan Bolden threw a punch at the face mask of some undrafted corner because it was a little too thought he was a little too physical in a one-on-one drill. And Harbaugh broke it up. He always liked to insert himself into stuff. And he threw Anquan Bolden out. Like, he took sides. He was like, get the hell out of here, Anquan. Get the hell out of here. And Anquan like walked away as slowly as he could. It was funny to watch someone walk in slow motion. He's like, all right, I'll go to
Did that guy make the team?
No, absolutely not. It just felt like an opportunity for Kyle to kind of like assert himself as the alpha male of the team, basically. I get to throw Anquan Bolden out. This is great. Love it.
That corner probably went home like, man, I'm gonna make the team. Like, coach loves me right in there, right in back.
It was an opportunity for Harbaugh to assert his dominance over Anquan, not for Harbaugh to stick up for the underdog. Like, whatever. You know what I mean? That's what it was.
I was, with Lance, I was thinking about this, and I wanted to ask you. And I think you talked about it at the beginning, is that Lance might have been their number 3 guy, and we talked about how that whole trade deal went on at Zach Wilson's pro day, and at the time we speculated it was because the Jets might have told the Niners, "Hey, we're not taking Zach Wilson." Did maybe was Lance their number 1 or 2 guy, and the Jets told him, "Hey, we are taking Zach Wilson," and Kyle was like, "Damn, Robert, you got my guy," and was
Possible.
like, "Hey, make the deal. Like, hey, John, make the deal. Like,
Possible.
they're not taking our guy."
It's possible. I still believe what people reported, that he wanted Mac Jones at first, but it's possible, man. I mean, maybe he just wanted to make sure that it wasn't Mac Jones. It's like, oh, you want Zach Wilson, not Mac Jones? Oh, okay. All right. Face Mob 701 says, hey guys, Grant, what's your opinion of Ross Dwelly at this point? Was there steady improvement through camp?
Wait, hold on. Face Mob, do you not follow him on Twitter?
Come on.
You're asking him what is his opinion of Ross Dwelly.
I'm just gonna assume it's like Ross Dwelly's mom or something. So I'm gonna say, he definitely improved steadily. And the thing that's most impressive to me, I've always been impressed with Ross's game, but like, I think there's always a question: how much would it translate to real football? Because he's so skinny for a tight end. Everyone always be like, yeah, but he's skinny. Yeah, but he can't block. Sure, he can get open. He has good hands. I mean, everyone can see that. But this year, he looks like a real tight end. His legs are way bigger. I think he's built to like start or to take a lot more responsibility off dirty work off of George Kittle's plate. I think that's the kind of body transformation that would take years and dedication. He's done it, so I think you're going to definitely see the best of him. He's also in a contract year.
You think? Yeah.
Bingo.
You think he's like 250 maybe?
I would say that he's probably 245, whereas
Okay.
Jordan Matthews is 235. And I would say that Kittle is 240. His legs are skinny. I think he looks much more like a receiver than he
You
has
think
in the past.
you think Kittle's really is 240? Because I remember I've seen him listed in 240 since he was a rookie, and I was like, no way, he can't be 240.
I know, right? His upper body's real built, but his legs are skinnier this year. I don't know. Maybe he wants to take a little weight off so he doesn't break his foot when he runs. I don't know.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. So thank you for paying me $5 to talk about Ross Dwelley. I could do that all day for free.